make use of a list box, which is a class in this Tkinter model. What this list box does is to set a list of items. We can actually give it a list of items that want to be displayed on the screen. For the first step is to actually initialize the class, and then by making use of the variable, we can actually set the text that we want on the screen by also actually giving it the index that we want it to appear in particular. And let's call that, which is just as simple as just one list box. Here, the first thing you're going to take is that of our main that we wish to initialize the application. So to set what? Another thing we can actually set is our active style, where we want the style to be. So we can set the active style to be of that of dot box. We're going to make use of the underline and the other one, so we can see how it's both all of them are. So here I'm going to create a variable that's going to hold it. I can say list box, because with this variable we can actually use to initialize. Just calling this list box again and try to insert an element on them. So how can we do this? We can just say, let's say we want to initialize something on the screen, want to list something on the screen. We can just say by calling this list box here. Then what next we're going to do is the what insert. This is not hard to understand. It's not any hard way. So the first thing we're going to do is to set the particular index that we want it to be. Let's say start from 1, 2, 3 to any amount you want. Let's say this first one, I'm going to set 1. I want it to be in position 1. And then next thing I want to insert there is I can say welcome. Okay, let's say I want to insert another one. I'm just going to copy this down here. I can put it here. It's going to be 2 since 1 has already been occupied. So I can set to 2. I can say welcome to easy what kit. So with this, I've set it. The next thing I want to do is to pack it on the screen. This list box is mainly used on this list box because pack will tend to arrange this in order for us. But since we have used grid here, make use of pack can be a little bit tricky. So what we can do here is to remove this grid. So what have I done? Let me just remove this. So I can remove this grid and turn it to what pack. Then I can pack this of entire list, but because if this grid was here, if I was to use pack without moving that grid, it's going to give us a print like we have seen in our previous video. So I can pack this on the screen. So let's run this also to see example of what we're dealing with. So right here you can see this is where I say welcome to what easy keys. You can see this is kind of a dot box type of listing of items. So like I said, we're going to change this to what underline. You can say underline. Hope that is correct. Underline. This is supposed to be underline, not underline. Okay, so let's run this. You can see when I hit on this button, we get the kind of line that has been drawn under it. I hit the next one, get the kind of line that has been drawn under it. We're still going to make use of this one of our projects for us to understand how this works. But this is what we did here. Here we created the list box. This list box tend to listing that the name alone should not be hard for us to understand. List box is going to list things down for us, and then we said I must set this active line. Let me just remove it so we won't get confusing. So what it is a must you have to put here is delete of this of main that initialize this of our application, and then here we're going to make use of the variable that holds this list. But in a situation where we don't want to create a variable, we can come here and say this list box dot insert. But let's say the situation whereby this list box into about that long parameter, you see that we're going to have a hard time trying to call this entire list box again. But that's why we put it in this variable here that's going to hold it. So we're going to just say dot insert, and then here is going to be the text we want it, and here is going to be the position of the where we want the text to be, and here we just pack it on the screen. I've explained what pack and grid is. We will change this pack here to grid also due to the way pack and grid work. If grid was already there, I try to make use of pack, I'm going to run into problem which you might not want to run into. So you can also go ahead and more add more your insert what you want to list on the screen. But I just want to have an idea of how this works. Let's run it again. You can see here, you can just try to, this is the list, this is the word element that's being listed. Okay, let me try adding one more. So I can come here and say what everyone. Say everyone. So let me run this again. You can say welcome to Ziki's everyone. You can see how nice it was. As of now, we're not doing anything really useful right here, but I think the more we go, we're going to make use of this box. We're going to see how we can actually initialize when we click on it, what we're going to happen. So I think this should be it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll be able to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.